Well, welcome
Thank
to
you.
a new episode, of
The Movie Man podcast.
Don't you find things sometimes are more powerful if you say them 3 times?
I've actually
Gives
never
it
found
punch.
that. No.
They say if you're going to remember someone's name, you should repeat it like 5 times.
Oh
right?
yeah.
If someone's like, "Oh, hi, I'm Wilma." You should say, "Oh, Wilma. Wilma, nice to meet you, Wilma."
Right.
And then it sticks.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Like when you meet someone, you just say it like over and over, and you use their name in like a sentence. Like, "Oh, Wilma, that's fascinating. You also like the color orange, Wilma." Wow.
Well, not only that, but like saying their name, there's a lot of power in that. Like if you're introduced to someone and someone says, "Hi, my name is Jessica," and you shake their hand and you say, "Hi, Jessica, it's nice to meet you," right? Like something about saying someone's name back to them, like really is very impressionable. Makes a big impression.
Yeah, it makes you think that this person is paying attention to you. They
pay attention. They
aware.
care. You look them in. Yeah, you look them in the eyes. You wet wheelie them a little bit, right? Like all of these things it just shows that you've taken that extra step, that extra level of caring.
Yeah, for sure.
Welcome. This is an episode. Well, first of all, happy Halloween, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Halloween is, depending on when you're listening to this, Halloween is tomorrow night.
Or it's tonight, depending on if you listen to it on Halloween.
Or it was last night, you missed it. So get your shit together.
Or it was 2 years ago, depending on when you listen to this.
Depending on whether or not this episode has been taken off of the internet because it violates some sort of, ethical code. This is a weird year for Halloween.
Oh, absolutely.
That sucks.
Yep.
I mean, you've got, at least where we live, you've got federal government and provincial government, and they're both saying 2 different things about whether you should go out, let your kids go out, don't let your kids go out.
Yeah.
What a shit show. But we're not letting that slow us down. We're both sitting here picking out on candy individually. How's your candy corn? Is it good?
Actually, I do like me some candy corn, but I have not had any yet this year.
Why?
It's
not why have you not had any? Why do you like it?
Why do we like anything sugary and sweet?
Well, yeah, but it's different. Right? Polish a turd, it's still a turd. Anyways, I really don't hate candy corn that much, but there's just like 1,000 things I would rather dive into than candy corn. I don't dislike it.
And it's definitely the type of thing also that I do enjoy it, so don't get me wrong. I love me some candy corn. But it is something where after you have like a couple handfuls, it's like, okay, I'm just going to back off that train a little bit. It wears out its welcome after a bit.
I can see that. That happened to me. Reese's Pieces used to be my favorite candy.
Yep.
And then one year for Christmas, my mom got, I think it's supposed to be used as like a baking flour jar, but it was like a big glass, like, I don't know, 10-liter jar or something. Like a big glass jar. May not have been 10, may have been like 8 or 7 or something, but huge glass jar. And just went to the bulk barn and filled the damn thing with with Reese's Pieces.
Wow.
And so I opened that Christmas morning, and it was like more Reese's Pieces than anybody should ever realistically have. And within it, something amazing happened. Within like a month, Reese's Pieces were not my favorite anymore. They kind of grown a little bit old. So if you're trying to kick a habit, just just go on a bender, and then you'll get sick of it and you won't want it anymore.
No, yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Now I'm on peanut M&Ms. I've eaten an irresponsible amount of peanut M&Ms
mm,
this October.
hmm. Well, this is. I'll get us back. This is the Halloween episode. While Brady is
Stop
in his.
harshing my stop harshing my vibes, man.
He's in his sugar coma. Send him your warm
I'm
thoughts and your warm vibes.
I'm pumped about this episode. This is a movie that for over a year now I have been trying to put in front of you and have you watch.
Oh yeah. Mm.
And I could have easily just recommended it to you, but that wouldn't have, like, I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to talk about it
Right.
in depth, at nauseum.
Mm-hmm.
And so the only way to do that was to do an episode about it. So last Halloween, it didn't. Hocus Pocus beat it out.
It
Stupid
did.
Hocus Pocus. I get that, like, everyone likes Hocus Pocus. Whatever.
No, maybe not everyone.
I didn't grow up on it, and I think that caused issues for
Sure.
my appraisal of Hocus Pocus. But
Yeah.
Beetlejuice was back in the running, and this time dominated. Like, nothing else had a right being in this vote almost. Like, Beetlejuice just took over.
Yeah, yes and no. I've got the votes in front of me. I think I'm not trying to pick hairs, but I think Beetlejuice was the clear winner, and it was pretty solid. There was maybe one other film that was close. It was also another Tim Burton film, but yeah, Beetlejuice, kind of unlike
What was
last
it?
year.
Corpse Bride.
Yeah, that's the one exactly. Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
So those were the
but
two
it was
main
like-
ones.
But it still lost by a considerable margin. Like, it wasn't.
Yes, it was a clear.
Corpse
It
Bride wasn't dead in the water.
Oh no, we
But
didn't.
it wasn't a photo finish.
We didn't need to do a recount. Like, it was pretty clear. Beetlejuice
Yeah.
came out ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into it.
Let's
I've
do
got
it.
trivia for you.
I'm pumped. I love asking you trivia every week, but there are certain circumstances where it's like, hey Brady, you've grown up on this film, or I'm new to this film. Let's turn the tables a bit, and I'm curious to where this will go. So
All right. I've got a couple of questions.
perfect.
Who was the original director attached to this film?
Oh,
I'll give you options.
oh, okay, all right.
Was it Steven Spielberg?
Okay.
Was it M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong? Was it J.J. Abrams? Or was it Wes Craven? Wes Craven being the director
Oh.
of Nightmare on Elm Street, which we did
Okay.
last week or the week before.
Yep. Whew. Okay. I feel like I'm gonna try and reverse engineer this. You use some pretty sweet deduction when you answer your questions. I'm gonna try and do the same. I don't know if I'll be as successful, but here we go. I feel like M. Night Shyamalan is the red herring. Like that is just there to flag me down, to be like, hey, pick me. I think that's wrong. I don't think that's it at all. I think J.J. Abrams just also doesn't fit. Just from an age of J.J. Abrams to when this film was released. I don't think that's it either. I think it comes down to Spielberg and Wes Craven. And I kind of want to lean towards Wes Craven because that just seems way more up his alley. But I do wonder if that's also a bit of a red herring because we just talked about him with our good friend Jordan. I don't think it's... I mean, who am I to say what's up Steven Spielberg's alley? He can do whatever he wants. He's a legend. It doesn't feel like it's a him thing. So I'm going to go with Wes Craven, but I won't be surprised if I'm wrong, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go D, final answer.
It was, in fact, Wes Craven.
It was. Oh,
Yeah.
I actually kind of thought I'd be wrong. I thought that was just hey, we're going to get, try and trip me up. That's interesting.
Well, I thought you were going to get it wrong, too, if it counts for
if
anything.
it's any difference.
Yeah.
And
got
sorry, just for
several
context,
questions
so
here.
Nightmare Before Elm Street was 84, right? So this would have been after, just for
Yeah.
context. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. He was already established.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Everyone knew. Yeah.
Okay.
What does... So this film came out in 88.
Mm-hmm.
What does it have in common
Oh,
with Spaceballs,
okay.
Big,
Big.
and Caddyshack 2?
Huh.
Th-
I,
These, those three films and Beetlejuice
huh.
are unique for a certain reason.
No, this is going to sound bad. I haven't seen Spaceballs was one of the options you said, or one of the films with something in
Yeah,
common.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I hope I'm not offending anyone by saying this. It's been so long since I've seen it, but I was wondering if Catherine O'Hara was in that film and there was going to be some commonality of like they all had her in it. But Caddyshack,
No,
she's not in, or at least to my knowledge.
no. And I don't think she's in Big, is she? Catherine O'Hara?
No, definitely not. So yeah, that's another one that's no. Oh my gosh, I have no idea. I'm getting so many. Yeah, I've Tom Hanks. I don't know.
That's it. Tom Hanks is in all four of them.
Sorry, what?
No, I'm just kidding.
oh
Totally. It's not.
my gosh.
No, so the thing that these four films have in common is in the 80s,
Okay.
in the late 80s, is when the rating of PG-13 was introduced. And films were getting
Oh.
PG-13 left, right, and center. Because before
Okay.
it was PG or you're up to an R.
Okay. Okay.
These four films, Beetlejuice included,
hmm
are four films that during the PG-13 era use an F-bomb while still just maintaining a PG rating.
Really?
Yeah,
That's super interesting because that
unique.
when that happened in this film, that kind of raised an eyebrow. I'm like, oh, I was not
It catches
expecting
you
that.
off guard.
It does.
And then
Sorry,
just,
can you say that again? It was Big, Beetlejuice, Caddyshack. What was the fourth one?
Spaceballs.
Okay,
and,
yeah.
and Caddyshack 2.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's yeah.
And then two other just like sort of interesting thingamabobs here.
Sure, yeah.
One is that so in this film, there's a lot of like claymation stuff used. There's a lot of like B movie style special effects used, which is pretty consistent with Tim Burton. But this is like early. This is early for Tim Burton. I think. Hang on. Let me look this up. I think this is Tim Burton's second film.
Okay.
Like second big
Right.
film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, that's just me
Yeah, you're right. It is too.
avoiding. Yeah, is it?
Yep. He's got Pee-wee's
okay.
Big Adventure, Beetlejuice, then Batman.
Then Batman, right? As a director, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, like a bunch of little short films and shit
Sure.
like that before
Yeah,
that.
Of course.
But yeah, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and then Beetlejuice, then Batman, Edward Scissorhands, so on and so forth. So he's pretty new on the scene at this point. But this style of like claymation and whatnot is pretty consistent with the type of things that he does. He used it a little bit in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. The reason for it is that this film had a special effects budget of only $1 million.
Oh.
So that really kind of informed a lot of decision making when it came to
Right.
what special effects were going to look like. The final thing, the snake sequence. So where the handrail, the banister turns into the snake.
Oh, yeah.
And my favorite line from the movie, "We've come for your daughter, Chuck." Right? The snake scene had been filmed before Michael Keaton was cast as Beetlejuice. And the
really?
animatronic snake used had no resemblance to Keaton at all. After Keaton was cast, some additional film was shot for the scene using a stop-motion snake that looked more like Beetlejuice. This was suggested by the studio to make sure that the audience knew that the snake is actually Beetlejuice and not just some random monster from the afterlife.
Right. Right.
So they had to do some reshoots on the snake.
Interesting.
So yeah. But aside from that, there's my trivia. But
That's actually
yeah,
pretty good.
the you got the Wes Craven thing Good job.
I tip my hat to you for the good job. That was fun and informative.
Well, there you go.
So Beetlejuice, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. I grew up with this thing,
Okay.
as you alluded to.
Yeah. Cool.
Man. Yeah, we had this on as a VHS growing up.
Oh.
And I definitely watched it more than just, like, it wasn't like, oh, here's Halloween. No. It's like, oh, it's Wednesday. Pop her in.
Nice.
So much of my life, like, yeah, I used to, when you're a kid and you've got like a super hyperactive imagination,
Mm-hmm.
there were times I used to I would say Beetlejuice 3 times just to see, just to stir shit up a little bit, just to see if it was going to
Do something.
happen.
Right.
Yeah, never did. Kind of a shame. But when I was a teenager, I always thought to myself, if and when I get married, that white and black striped suit, that is the suit that I'm getting married in.
Oh,
Hands
wow.
down,
Oh.
that is my suit.
Oh.
Also didn't happen. So, also a shame. But, so I love Beetlejuice, but all of my Beetlejuice-inspired dreams have been kind of a letdown.
Right.
No, haven't happened. This is your first viewing.
It is. It was.
Talk to me. Talk to me
Okay.
about your expectations going in.
For sure.
Talk to me about whether those expectations were met, not met, or exceeded, and what you're thinking about now that you've had a couple of days to sleep on it.
Absolutely. So, as far as expectations, I really didn't have any, because if you had asked me 6 to 12 months ago, I would have had low expectations. You did whet my appetite a bit, because at that time in the past, I had no interest in watching this, not my cup of tea. And you whet my appetite because you told me a bit more about who's in it and some elements of it, and I thought, okay. It went from I don't have any interest, I will avoid watching it at all costs, to I could actually be open to viewing this at least once just to see what it's about. But I went in with neutral expectations. I didn't want to overhype it, underhype it. I just went in straight faced. For those who've listened to the show before, it's a bit of deja vu, right? Because this has happened before. An earlier Tim Burton film in his career, which Brady is familiar with, Brady has grown up with, Brady loves, is introduced to Pete, who's never seen it. It happened with Edward Scissorhands.
Sure did.
And I definitely have always...
Life-changing for you.
And like I said, I've always veered away from this specific film, Beetlejuice. And then I found out who starred in it, and that alone, I'm like, okay, like Alec Baldwin.
I think you didn't even, until I was talking to you about it, you didn't even know, I said Michael Keaton, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, I had no idea who was in it. None.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you said Michael Keaton, I'm like, eyebrow raised. Winona Ryder, eyebrow hits the ceiling. Catherine O'Hara, jaw drops. Alec Baldwin, I pass out. I'm like, holy crow, this is neat.
Gina Davis, it just keeps going.
It actually does. So it didn't have the same kind of impact on me that Edward Scissorhands had. For me, I think just my thoughts after watching it, it's just a film for me. Some comedic moments, I chuckled at, obviously. Just for me, artistically, the narrative that it had, the storyline, weren't anything that convinced me to love it or appreciate it like the time we watched Edward Scissorhands. So to me, Beetlejuice would be in the category of a silly Halloween film. And
Sure.
I'm just going to say I was fair to Beetlejuice.
Which is where it belongs.
Which is where it belongs. And I'm going to say I was fair to Beetlejuice. I gave it a chance. I wasn't watching it, comparing it to Edward Scissorhands, because I feel like that's comparing two completely different things. Edward Scissorhands is not a film just that's a spooky Halloween film. It's a film that deals with some real issues, some real narrative, some real characters, and it just happens to be kind of spooky that could fit into a Halloween kind of theme. So I wasn't comparing the two, so it's not that it paled in comparison. It's just, I feel like they're two different films with two different objectives, or at least two different outcomes.
Right.
So, yeah, in a nutshell, it's just a film for me. It's not bad. I'm not getting it tattooed on my bicep.
Right. Yeah. No. Me neither. No. Totally. No.
I hope that doesn't hurt you.
No. 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 It's on. Like honestly, I would have. I think I would if you had come to me and you would have said, "Forget Edward Scissorhands." Like this is the film. I would have questioned you a little bit. I would have been
Sure,
like,
sure.
really? Like,
Hmm.
I don't think it has the same impact. It doesn't have the same
Hmm.
cultural relevance and importance,
Hmm.
and
And
But
actually, I want to say something here, and I'm not really good at metaphors on the tip of my tongue and just making it up as I go, but I'm going to try and do that. I feel like the one thing that I enjoyed of this film is, say you're not into sports. You're not into sports, but you do enjoy watching someone hit a home run. You do enjoy someone hitting a slap shot and scoring a goal, or whatever sports analogy you want to use. You're not a fan of the sport, but you appreciate some aspects of individuals performing their craft and excelling at it. That's something that I really felt with this film, watching Alec Baldwin, watching Michael Keaton, watching
a very
Catherine
young
O'Hara.
Alec Baldwin.
A very young Alec Baldwin, a younger Catherine O'Hara, and a
Yep.
super young Winona Ryder.
Oh yeah,
Super.
yeah, just a
Like
baby here.
18. I looked it up. I was like, how young is she? So yeah,
Yeah.
she's 18. So what I'll say about Beetlejuice, if those actors hadn't been in it and it had just been no ones, fair or unfair, I probably would have enjoyed this film far, far less. And
Sure.
it's story aside, I just loved watching those four on screen flex their muscles, so to speak.
Oh yeah.
If it had been Sean Connery with a bunch of no ones, I probably would have given it a much lower score than I did.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. What was your favorite moment?
Ooh. Um hmm. That's a good question. I never thought of that. I feel like probably not my favorite moment, but close, were just some of the moments that Michael Keaton delivered, just the energy that he infused with his role, and just kind of the one-liners, and not just the one-liners, but the way he delivered them, and the way like he just rolled with them. And there was a
So
vibe that he was giving that, just as an actor, it was funny, it was energetic, he was just bubbling.
So, which is interesting for two reasons, because he's only in 14 and a half minutes of the movie.
Which is crazy. Like the film is called Beetlejuice, but he really
Yeah.
doesn't, like, he's mentioned by name and you see a glimpse of him, but he really doesn't show up till like halfway through, and he's really not there, yeah, consistently till like the end.
Yeah.
It should be more like Baldwin juice or something.
90%. Ew. That's not a product I would buy.
Hey,
Uh,
speak for yourself.
and 90% of those moments that you love from Michael Keaton were ad-libbed.
Oh, interesting. Well, and
Yeah,
there you go.
He ad-libbed 90% of his dialogue.
And there you go. That's why it's fun to watch these actors perform in this role. It's not so much the film that on its own was fun. It's just these guys just flexing and gals flexing their muscles. But I'd say my favorite sequence is probably the end, where
Yeah.
I throughout I loved the husband wife duo of Baldwin and Gina Davis. I thought it was fun throughout, and I thought they played it very well. But I did enjoy the ending kind of scene where, they're kind of ghostly parents, or at least ghostly roommates to Winona Ryder, and they've kind of reached this agreement to, figure a mutually beneficial way to coexist. And I loved it. It was kind of fun. She comes home from school and they're like, "How did your test go? We helped you study, blah 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 blah." And that's
They've
almost like
impressively reverted the house back to its like
Yeah.
country
that's
house-looking feel.
that sequence with the three of them interacting not only is my favorite part. I would watch a movie based on those three again, just because of the actors and what they can bring to the screen.
Which is why for years, and rumors have started up again in the last couple of years, but there have been scripts, there's been talk, there's been all kinds of stuff about the sequel. But yeah, pretty much everyone involved is in agreement that, like, okay, we can only do this if it if it is the right thing to do. Like if the right story comes along and it makes sense to do another one.
So
But we're not just going to do another one for the sake of doing another one.
so kudos to them for that kind of artistic high ground of only doing it for the right reasons. So you've obviously answered that half of the question that I actually want to ask you. So obviously there's no sequels. I didn't look this up just because I wanted to be as neutral as possible about Beetlejuice. So no sequels.
There's the animated kid show.
Okay. Animated kid show.
Yeah.
So what other
So there's a
renditions of
cartoon.
this exist? Is this a standalone film? Were there any previous renditions of it? Like, is this a remake or is this just a standalone?
No, it's just a standalone thing.
Okay.
Right now, more recently of note, is the Broadway musical.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Beetlejuice is, I think it's Broadway. There's
Yeah.
Beetlejuice. Yeah, it is. It's Broadway. Beetlejuice is on Broadway right now as a musical.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, no, standalone. It's not based off any previous properties.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So when just the number of star-studded people in this film, and I'm still kind of coming around to viewing all of Tim Burton's films. I'm not there yet.
Oh,
But-
we're working on it, pal.
You're working on me. You're getting me there. But I just want to ask. So this film was star-studded. Edward Scissorhands was star-studded. Just in general, I can only speak on these two films. But in general, is it that Tim Burton is getting high caliber actors in his films? Or is it that he's kind of spotting these diamond in the rough early gems that haven't quite broken through, but as time and history roll on, will turn out that these people were big deals? Like, which you've seen more
I
of his
think
films. Can you comment on that?
I mean, I think a bit of both, right? So, like, this isn't Winona Ryder's first film. She was in Lucas.
Okay.
But she's obviously not a big name at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I think Catherine O'Hara's been around. Like, a lot of these actors have been around. Obviously, he's pretty much solely responsible for Johnny Depp.
Okay.
Right? Like, realistically. But then,
Get a-
but then there's other things.
Let me wrap my wing
Like-
around you, brother. We got this.
Yeah. But then there's other things like, in Edward Scissorhands, there's no way that Tim Burton can take credit for people like Diane Keane or Alan Arkin or Vincent Price. Like, Vincent Price was a legend in his own right. It was his dream to work with Vincent Price, right? And so, yeah, I mean, I think it's maybe a bit of both, but Michael Keaton was definitely already around at this point too.
Right.
As a comedic actor. But you do notice, like, something, and a lot of actors and directors are like this. Some less so. Tarantino's like this for sure. But and Adam Sandler's definitely like this as a filmmaker and a director and whatever else. But Tim Burton has a set of actors that he likes to work with.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Right.
for sure.
So there's several Tim Burton films with Catherine O'Hara.
Oh, really?
She voices a character. So she's in this. She voices a character in Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
Obviously, Johnny Depp is in a lot of Tim Burton films.
For sure, yeah.
There are a lot of Tim Burton films with Helena Bonham Carter. I mean, he was married
Yes.
to her for a number of years.
You kind of have to.
Michael Keaton shows up again, right? Michael Keaton is in he's Batman, right?
Yeah.
He casts him as Batman.
Yep.
And then Michael Keaton also shows up. I'm pretty sure Michael Keaton was in Tim Burton's Dumbo movie.
Oh, interesting.
He uses Danny DeVito a couple of times. He uses Winona Ryder, shows up as Kim in Edward Scissorhands. There's several actors that he likes to use, and so and does so ad nauseum as a result of it.
And,
So I don't know if it's so much that he's breeding these these star-studded actors,
Right.
but he knows who he likes to work with.
Mm.
And and so kind of sticks to, same with Alan Rickman. He uses Alan Rickman a couple of times, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So
really?
yeah, so stuff like that.
Sure.
The reason I think the reason why this movie sticks out so much to me, is it's like, this is a weird analogy, but it's like one it to me, it takes a different movie that I love and adds a component that I also love in order to make a whole new thing that I love that much more. Right? And so the analogy,
I have no idea what you mean, so I'm waiting for you to get
it'll
to
make
your...
sense. Yeah, it'll make sense in a second.
Okay.
So like
Good.
as a teenager, so this happened only like one other time in my life. As a teenager, I absolutely, like, just like anyone else, I loved playing the Rock Band Guitar Hero games.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Right? They were great. And my favorite band as a teenager was Green Day.
Oh, yeah.
And so then it was announced that there was going to be a Green Day Rock Band game.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, it's like it was made for me. Like, it's
Yeah.
like you're taking a series that I love, you're teaming up with something else that I totally love, and you're going to make one beautiful friggin' baby out of it. And so that happened with this, because I love dark, creepy Halloween, Tim Burton, spooky stuff.
Big time.
Not even necessarily just like scary stuff, but like, skeletons and things that go bump in the night, and witches and cauldrons and pumpkins and whatever else. Right? And I also really like the high energy, character, over the top, manic portrayal that Jim Carrey gives us in The Mask.
Oh, yeah.
And if you take The Mask and add the spooky Halloween Tim Burton-y aspect to it,
Yeah.
you get Beetlejuice.
Oh.
You get this,
Yeah.
can conjure up whatever he wants, is sort of in it for himself, is always cracking jokes, has got a couple of screws loose kind of guy.
Sure. Yeah.
But he's dead. He's a ghost.
Yeah.
He's a
Yep.
bioexorcist.
Mm.
Yeah, and so that's why I love it so much. And I think Michael Keaton, I can't picture anyone in the role other than Michael Keaton.
Sure.
And this is so my favorite sequence of the movie is that, what I would consider the climax. So the Maitlands are in their wedding attire and they're crumbling on the table. And Lydia, in a fit of desperation, releases Beetlejuice. He's kind of sitting on the cemetery, and she says, "Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice," and he says, "Showtime," and like brushes himself off. And then you've got this whole sequence, right, where he's coming up from the center of the model, and he's like, "Attention, Kmart shoppers," and like just this like high energy riffing ad lib. But my favorite line when you take into account that this was most of this was ad libbed, and a line that I think people brush past, and I've often brushed past this line and not appreciated its genius, is when they first meet him in the graveyard of the model, and they're figuring out whether or not they want to hire him. Right? They haven't totally caught on to what a bad egg he is yet.
No.
And they're figuring out if they want to hire him, and they say, "Well, are you what are your qualifications? Are you qualified?" Right? And up until this point, Beetlejuice has had this come on, kind of like character voice. But then all of a sudden, in a regular, normal, sophisticated Michael Keaton voice, he goes, well, I attended Juilliard. I'm a graduate of Harvard Business School. I travel quite extensively. I lived through the Black Plague and had a pretty good time during that. I've seen The Exorcist 150 times, and like, and just like turns back into his like Beetlejuice voice and is kind of quirky, but just this like, well, I attended Juilliard, like this really sophisticated. Oh, well, here's my LinkedIn profile. Actually, this is who I am. And this is why I am qualified. And it just, I find it. If I had a critique of this film, it's that Beetlejuice is only on screen for 14 and a half minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And having said that, I think it's probably perfect. I think it's probably the perfect amount that he was used, hasn't been overused,
Right.
whets your
Yep.
appetite, leaves you wanting more.
Yep.
But for all the reasons why that's wonderful and was done really well, it pisses me off, and I wish we had a lot more of them.
That's very fair. And that's a very good, interesting point. I totally get what you're saying, how this is a combination of a lot of things that you enjoy. And that's pretty neat.
Like you would go, would you not go to like a 90-minute stage show where Michael Keaton was in the Beetlejuice get up and he's just doing crowd work for 90 minutes. He's just interacting with the crowd.
Yeah. Oh, and the key thing, if it was Michael Keaton, yes.
Oh yeah, it's got to be Michael Keaton.
It
right?
has to be. Yeah.
So the only other, like the TV show thing, and I've never watched an episode of the animated show.
Mm-hmm.
We went to number of years ago, like 13 years ago, 12, 13 years ago. We were at Universal Studios in Orlando. And they had a Beetlejuice's Rockin' Graveyard review or something, and it was like it was a stage show. It was a musical stage show, and like Frankenstein's monster and Dracula and the Bride of Frankenstein and all these characters, the Mummy, the werewolf, all these characters come out on stage and they have dancing, singing numbers, and there's lights and there's smoke and pyrotechnics, and it's like this whole, it's like a 60-minute show that you can watch, like a theme park show that you can watch. But it was titled after and hosted by Beetlejuice. And so that was good. And there was a guy, he looked great. He didn't look like, even from where we were sitting, we could tell, this isn't, like he wasn't, they do this makeup on him every day. He's a theme park employee. Like, they haven't done that. This isn't screen worthy. You couldn't put a camera on this guy and go, holy shit, it's Beetlejuice. But it was good. It was better than any Halloween costume that any of us are coming up with, right? He had the right wig and the makeup and the suit. But you could just tell that, like, he was trying to be the Beetlejuice from the movie. So he's trying to do a Michael Keaton Beetlejuice impression. He's trying to impersonate him, and it just wasn't landing all the time.
Right.
Just because it wasn't him. It wasn't him. It wasn't Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
But that's why I love this movie. I think Michael
That's
Keaton's genius. It's Tim Burton. That's icing on the cake. Catherine O'Hara, Alec Baldwin, Winona Ryder. Like we said, the cast is just stunning. Whatever the name of, and I can never remember the actor, but Mr. Dietz, the guy that plays, he also plays the principal in Ferris Bueller, the redheaded guy. Anyways, he's in it, and he's funny as ever. And it's just like, it's a fun, quirky concept. It's a film about a haunting, except instead of the ghosts haunting the living are haunting the dead. The living are the unwanted ones.
Yes.
And it's a haunting from the other perspective. It's the side of the haunting that you never get to see. It's the motivation behind the haunting.
Right. Yeah.
And that, to me, is just a really unique opportunity to analyze it and go, there's two sides to everything. What we perceive as evil, and I think this is, like, the whole concept of it is super powerful, because you can look at it in terms of like World War II and the Nazis and stuff, right? So if you're on the North American side of World War II, or the non-Nazi side of World War II, then the Nazis were just evil. But if you're on the Nazi side of it, well, not necessarily. Was there bad, shitty stuff going on? Oh yeah, totally. But there always is. But like some of the guys that were just fighting, soldiers, the ghosts in this movie. What is their motivation? Who are these people actually, and why is it? Are they just haunting because they're evil, nasty spirits? Well, no, they're haunting because this is their home,
Right.
and they're doing what they believe to be right. And they just want their home back. And without the sort of the veil being pulled back, without seeing, beyond the veil, then yeah, it's just a garden variety haunting, right? Like if you had a film and all you experience is what the Dietzes are experiencing, then yeah, it's like the house is haunted and it's evil and it's not good and it's scary. As funny as the whole shrimp dinner calypso scene is, it's scary. That would be a frightening thing to have happen to you. But yeah, it's to me, I just love it because it sympathizes with the ghosts. It sympathizes with the afterlife. It deals with, like, at one point Lydia's like wanting to kill herself so that she can get away from her family and get away from life and just be with. And that's a dark moment.
Very.
That, like she writes out and reads out her suicide letter.
Right.
And yeah, like there's just so much. Again, Tim Burton films, to me, even the creepiest, strangest Tim Burton films, like Edward Scissorhands, if you look for it, there's so much. It's not just creepy for the sake of being creepy. He tells amazing stories with good lessons, right? That life is worth living.
Yeah.
That not everything that we perceive as dark and evil is just dark and evil. There's two sides to every coin, right? All of this stuff. And he just happens to have a style that most people, he has a lot of fun with it. Every day is Halloween for him. And that's, I think, my love affair with Tim Burton has a lot to do with that. And I think it's almost just as strong, if not just as strong, in Beetlejuice as it is in most of his other entries.
I think that's a really interesting point, because I feel like this is a unique film that really portrays a side of the supernatural that's not usually portrayed. So I think that's a good analogy, like a countryman, someone living in a country who doesn't subscribe to all the minutiae detail of the example you gave. Like a German doesn't subscribe to all the horrible things of the Nazi Party, but they're having to be involved in the war for choices not their own. Kind of like with this supernatural family, they're not demonic, they're not evil, they're not ill-wishing on humans in general. They're just forced into something because unfortunately they were in a car accident, and unfortunately there's someone kind of overtaking their house and they have to do something that with someone not knowing the full situation would say there's a demonic force or there's an evil force trying to do something to this house. I can only think of one other film that kind of is unique in that way, that does the same thing as this, where it kind of sheds the other light on a specifically supernatural event that kind of just, I feel like that's an undertold side of the story. And I'm not going to mention what film that is. I know that's a bit of a teaser just because I don't want to ruin the film for you if we ever watch it or talk about it, or if anyone's listening. I don't want to ruin it. So
what are you doing to me here, man?
I feel like that's actually kind of a cheap, like I could just mention any kind of example and be like, I'm not going to give the actual film just because I don't want to ruin it, but the film does exist. You got to believe me.
Yeah, trust me, man. There's a film just like this.
It stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Sean
Yeah.
Connery and everyone that I love in it.
Yeah.
The one thing I want to
Bill
say...
Murray.
Yeah, exactly. The one thing I'll say, and this is my last actual note, and it's not really like a conversation piece per se, it's more of an observation than anything. I think I was surprised by the tone of the artistic kind of... the artistic tone of this film, because I think my few exposures to Tim Burton, the color tones in the artistic aspects of the film, like just everything about it is very surreal and very just vibrant, whether it dark or light. When you're watching Edward Scissorhands, you realize that like everything is not as it is in real life, and there's a reason for it. And same with Sweeney Todd, like just the tones that it takes. This, for what it was, this did seem to have a more real color tone and a more real palette color palette as far as what we were seeing. Obviously, what we're seeing is nothing like real life, the supernatural and everything that's involved with what we saw. But just the actual color tones, I was kind of surprised by that.
Yeah, I mean, and there are other Tim Burton films on our journey that we're going on that we haven't really directly talked about, but it's happening. Where you'll notice the same thing. Yeah, he's kind of he's kind of all over the place, but it keeps it fresh and it keeps it,
Yeah.
It in the color tones and what was used in Edward Scissorhands was done for a very deliberate reason and told a story in and of itself.
Yeah.
And just wasn't necessary this time around.
No. And I didn't mean it as a slight.
No.
It's an observation.
Cool. All right, man. The moment has come.
Okay.
0 to 10, this son of a gun.
So I feel like I just have to say, I feel like this wasn't my favorite film. Wasn't my, I don't know. I don't want to say I disliked the film, but I wouldn't say I enjoyed it, if that makes sense. So
You
I feel
and I are not going to work out. I don't think this is.
So I feel my score kind of reflects how I felt. I gave it right down the middle. I gave it a 5 out of 10, maybe a 5.5. So it's somewhere in the middle for me. It's not great. It's not bad. On my scale,
pay to rent it though.
I would pay to rent it, which is what I did, and I wouldn't regret paying the money to rent it. On Marshall's scale, it's very similar, kind of a 5. Maybe in some categories it dipped into a 6, but more so a 5. So again, right down the middle for me. 5 out of 10, kind of no matter how you look at it.
See, now I'm curious to know what Marshall actually thinks of the film.
I think
in the back of my mind, anytime you say, and on Marshall's scale, even though I know that this is not what it means, somewhere in my brain isn't sophisticated enough to actually understand what you're saying, and my brain goes, oh, this is what Marshall thinks of the film, and it's not.
That'd be kind of. I should just, instead of using Marshall's scale to grade movies, I should just.
And this is what Marshall thinks.
I should just message him and be like, "Hey, what do you give this movie out of 10? Got to let the listeners know."
Yeah, because I was about to say the listeners don't care, but the listeners probably care just as much as they care about what the hell we think.
Oh, they totally care what Marshall thinks, big time.
Yeah, Marshall's a lot more sophisticated and.
Oh yeah.
We're just. I feel like we're just kind of warming the couch cushion for Marshall, and eventually Marshall's gonna take over the show. He'll kick us both off. He'll just be like, guys, give me the login for your social media.
Let's go.
It's time for the show to graduate kindergarten.
Yeah,
and become something of substance.
I'm trying to remember specifically since we're talking about Marshall. I forget if he saw Beetlejuice. It might have been a different Tim Burton one that he said he hadn't seen. So I'm not sure if he's seen this, is my point.
Yeah. He was talking about Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, I think that's right. He was Sleepy Hollow.
And then he watched some of Sleepy Hollow and then was like, life is too short.
And hollow.
And he shut it off and he wanted us to sort of, like validate his actions.
Or just say, hey, I want to know if it's good. I'll use my guinea pigs.
Yeah, which for the record, I enjoy Sleepy Hollow. So even though that's not the film we did, I would recommend it.
That's the one.
Marshall. Watch
so I wanted
movie.
that one to win because I'll probably end up watching it anyway. My wife and I watch it probably every other Halloween.
Right.
I probably wanted Corpse Bride to win just because I'm the most curious about this. I'm really intrigued.
Have you not seen Corpse Bride?
No.
Ooh, interesting.
I want to.
Okay. Next year.
Oh, I can't wait that. We'll just do it sometime.
It'll happen before then.
Yeah.
What
would you give
year
this
is
out of
that
10?
film? What year is Corpse Bride? It could be coming up.
2005.
Ooh. So for our 2005 vote, we'll do Corpse Bride and then just like 3 shit films that nobody.
Oh, that bothers me because there's actually been a film I've been wanting to watch recently that is from 2005. So I know I'm going to put it forward on the vote, and it might not win, but now I really don't know what I want to win from 2005.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll see. What did you give this film out of 10?
I give this film an 8.3 out of 10. I think it's
cool.
If you enjoy anything, if anything about this film, whether it be Tim Burton, whether it be Michael Keaton, whether it be the Halloween-esque creepy whatever, if any of that is your cup of tea, then Beetlejuice is a must-watch at least once. It's just fun. It's iconic. It's interesting stylistically, and man, like I can't tell you, like I've budgeted, like I've figured out what would, I would, like, obviously I'd have to get the right material, and a tailor would have to be involved because I would want it to fit just right. I don't want it to be like some Halloween costume crap. Like I want a tailored Beetlejuice suit. It's just so good. But yeah, so 8.3. Love this film. Love it.
Cool.
It's been a couple of weeks. Since I said, what have you watched? So I'm expecting some answers here.
I think we talked about it last week.
No, in our 100th episode, we didn't.
You're right, we didn't.
We did not, sir.
I'm drawing a blank. I don't think I watched anything outside of the films we've been. Oh no, I did. That's a dirty lie. But I'm gonna have to revert to you. You tell us what you watched. I've forgotten what it's called. I've talked about it with people, and every time I have to Google what it's called again, for some reason I can't remember. So what did you watch this week?
Okay, so I had been working through and needed to finish my journey through the films in the Conjuring universe. So I did that. Watched, and I can't figure out the freaking name of this movie. It's something. It's like Mexican. It's in Spanish. But the Curse of
De La Llorona.
The Curse of La Llorona.
La Llorona. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
in my
so
head it sounds better, and then when I say it, I'm like, yeah, I'm totally botching it.
Yeah. So I watched that. I think it was one of the weaker ones in the series. Maybe only behind the first Annabelle movie. I didn't think the first Annabelle was worth anything. And then we also watched Annabelle Comes Home, which kind of concluded all of the existing Conjuring films, anticipating now the release next year of The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, which is my excuse most of the time when I do something I shouldn't. It's not my fault, man. There was a bifurcated tail, horns. It's not my, And then I watched the 1979 film, 79? 79. I don't know if that's right. I watched a 70s The Amityville Horror. So the supposedly true tale of George and Kathy Lutz, who move into the Amityville house where 6 people were killed, and then the dude commits suicide, and then the house is haunted. They're only in the house for like 30 some odd days before they leave all their possessions, and they never come back. They never try to reclaim the house or any of their stuff. They're just gone. So watch that, and then watch the sequel, Amityville 2: The Possession, which is not based on a true story at this point. They're just like, ooh, this is a name we can make money with. And it was good. The sequel was actually good. It was creepy. It was about a guy who gets possessed. And yeah, he's freaky. The film had a confusing amount of, like, the sequel had a confusing amount of incest in it. But I mean, he was possessed, so it made you feel uncomfortable in the ways that it was supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. So,
right.
So that is what it is.
Yeah, it comes with the territory, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So that's it. That's what I watched. Just a lot of horror this month. October has been Scary Movie Central for me, and that's made me pretty happy. Oh, the other thing, I watched 12 minutes and 45 seconds that I will never get back of. It's so sad to me.
What?
That there's every so often there'll be an actor who had a great career.
Okay.
Was in a couple of fantastic movies that belong in the Comedy Hall of Fame.
Sure.
And then something happens, and it's just like, Why? Like why? Not only why are you making movies like this now, but why are all of your star-studded friends involved? Why are they riding this escalator of diarrhea down to hell with you?
I
Like,
think
what
I
is
know where
happening?
you're going with this.
And it's I watched 12 minutes and 45 seconds of what is it? Hubie Halloween, the new Adam Sandler Netflix Halloween movie.
Yeah, I've heard
Man,
it's
like
not good from what
Big
I've heard.
Daddy was phenomenal.
Sure.
You know, Billy Madison's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's iconic. Happy
Yep.
Gilmore,
Hmm.
you know,
Mr.
stuff like
Deeds.
that. Mr.
Yeah.
Deeds is so
50
good.
first 50 first dates
50
to
First
me.
Dates, man.
And to me, well,
Amazing.
if we ever review it, we'll talk about this more. To me, 50 First Dates transcends Adam Sandler comedies because there's, yeah, you mentioned some, they're good. They're within his own, they hold their own. But to me, 50 First Dates is that comedy that Adam Sandler fans and non-Adam Sandler fans can agree on, like, hey, this is a good film.
So good. But yeah,
Yeah.
Hubie Halloween. And I know that it's Hubie Halloween now because one of the jokes is people in the town call him Puby Halloween. And so that right there is the level of sophistication that we're talking about comedically.
Oh, boy.
But in the first 12 minutes that I watched this, obviously Steve Buscemi's in it
Yeah, he has to
because
be.
it's an Adam Sandler film.
Yeah.
Kevin James is in this.
Yep.
Ben Stiller is in it. And I'm like, what are
Ben
you guys
Stiller?
doing?
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was so bad. I was like, I can't actually. I had put the movie on as a movie to fall asleep to, which you're not
Sure.
supposed to do, but screw you. I put the movie on as a movie to fall asleep to, and even I was like, I won't even give it that. I won't even give it I won't even dignify it by falling asleep to it. This is garbage.
Wow.
And I shut it off. And I don't think I will revisit it.
You're not alone
So.
for anything you've said about that film. It really, really sounds like it's not hit a home run.
No. Yeah. What'd you watch? Did you figure it out?
I did figure it out. Okay. So I watched, in addition to The Wiggles,
Ooh.
but that's not really.
Did you actually
my
watch The Wiggles?
I did, not of my own
you-
accord. Just
Your
someone
daughter's
in my-
gotten into The Wiggles?
Oh yeah, more Emma. Well, I don't know if she likes one over the other. I think Emma for parents is a little more tolerable. The Wiggles is a little, ugh. But
Oh, watch it, man. Watch it. I like them.
I like
I gotta.
Emma.
I'm gonna end. We'll end this episode with a brief Wiggles story.
Please. Oh, okay. Story. I thought you were going to say like an impersonation, and I was like, please.
No.
Yeah, I feel like Emma.
On
It's
the
like
Wiggles.
I can watch Emma, and it's like, hey, she's just conversing like a human being. I can tolerate this. But like the actual Wiggles, when the three dudes show up, they just use like all these like kind of just mumbly like made up phrases. They're like, wigga, 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 and they, anyway, I'm getting off topic. The
That was
one
pretty
film
good.
that I for sure watched these last couple weeks it was a Prime original, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. It was in the spirit of Halloween. I think it would be considered, it's not horror, but it's probably considered like a suspense, maybe a mystery. And it's 2019. It's called The Vast of Night. And no one I knew was in it. It was actors that I was not familiar with, but it was such a captivating film. I loved
I'm glad you clarified that there was no actors that you knew, because when you said nobody I knew was in it, it sounded like you were just like, none of my friends.
none of my
were
friends
cast.
were in it. Like, I mean, it's kind of weird. Brad Pitt was in it, but no one I knew was in it.
Yeah, and, no one I'm close with, just Brad.
Yeah. No, I absolutely loved this film. I can't remember a film there's been a handful in the recent past, but this was captivating. It was well done. It was well written. It was well performed. Everything about it I just thought was well done. And it's maybe not my favorite film of all time, but just the way it drew me in and actually just entertained me, which is at times just the bottom goal for a film. I absolutely thought it was a brilliant film. There was just some sequences where I didn't realize it till afterwards, but there were just mundane tasks that were like uncut 8-minute sequences that I didn't realize till I afterwards in the film digested and just like someone told me that. And I'm like, I didn't realize that was an 8-minute uncut sequence of something quite mundane. And just the dialogue and what the film was doing at that time made me not notice it. But in its simplicity, it was just a straight uncut scene. So there was just everything from just some attributes or what some accomplishments it did from different scenes to the whole underlying story and the premise. It was kind of spooky and got me on the edge of my seat. And just some of the narrative that they kind of chose to go in different directions. Everything about it was well done. So I think whether you like spooky mystery films or not, just it was a well done film, and it was very solid. A film that I had not really heard of, and now I think really more people should hear about it and should at least check it out and see if they want to watch it.
So pro tip, because I just discovered this, and I felt really stupid about it, but then it turns out I'm not alone. Like, this is a really common issue nobody knows about. If you're paying for Amazon Prime, you also have access to Amazon Prime Video or whatever it is. Like,
oh, yeah. 100%.
I've been paying for Amazon Prime, and I had no idea that I had access to this whole friggin' streaming service.
That is hilarious.
And apparently that's common, because it's poorly advertised. That
yeah. It's interesting. That's interesting.
And Amazon Prime Music or whatever it is. You have access to that as well.
See, there was like something that I wanted on Amazon Prime. So I actually got Amazon Prime for the video streaming service. And then I was like, oh, it comes with a free music service. I'll use that. And then as a bonus, like as our family started ordering stuff online, we got like the Prime delivery, and it was like, oh, I guess that's an okay
Prime delivery.
add-in.
Sometimes you get a discount on things.
Yeah, who cares? It's more the streaming that I want. So I came in from the other angle.
It makes Prime a great deal, because Prime's what, like $8 Canadian or something a month? It's not expensive.
It's cheaper than Netflix. I forget. It's like a yearly. I pay like a yearly rate, and it is definitely cheaper. Per month.
It'd be under $100 a year.
Well under. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm using Amazon Prime Video,
mm-hmm.
and it makes me wonder how many times I've rented a friggin' movie for this stupid podcast. And I had it at my fingertips through a streaming service.
What bothers me, I have bad luck for this. I will rent a film. Before COVID, it would either be in person or online. I have horrible luck. I would rent it, and literally like within 48 hours, sometimes within a week, maybe it was confirmation bias and it was a bit longer than that, but it honestly felt so often I would rent a film, pay my hard-earned money for renting a film, and then literally I would turn around and then it would be, what's new on Netflix? What's new on Amazon Prime? And it would, like, films would continually be added, like literally after I had paid to rent it. So it was just kind of a kick to the gut every time. It's like, oh, these streaming services, which I pay for anyway each month, now have these films that I rented individually. I don't know if anyone ever else has that problem, but...
No, it's just you, because they've done that intentionally. Like, the government is monitoring what you're renting, and then just to piss with Pete.
At the rate it happens, you're probably right. Like, I'm not even joking.
All right. Are you ready for... Do some housekeeping so I can talk to you quickly about the Wiggles.
Okay. So, like I said in other episodes, but I'll say it again. Sorry, that was kind of weird. I felt like I had already said it, but I realized that was for a different episode we recorded. So you'll have to pardon my fumbling over that. Check out the links below. Please like, follow, subscribe on all our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. That's where we send out our new information. That's where we send out our votes, where you influence what we review next. You can check out our links below for our Patreon page, our merchandise page. If you want to support the show, keep the lights on, help us grow. If you're not at that level of support, no worries. Please leave us a like and a comment. We love hearing feedback. And for those that do support the show, thank you so much. We do appreciate that. And thank you for everyone who's listening. We also appreciate that. And I think that's about it.
All right. So the Wiggles.
Okay.
So, like, how long ago would this be? Like 3 years ago.
Okay.
My The Wiggles was always on the TV, on my TV, like
Mm-hmm.
3 years ago.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
because my stepdaughter at the time adored The Wiggles. It was
Nice.
like the go-to every night, every morning, every afternoon, whatever. We watched The Wiggles.
Yeah.
And our babysitter, she grew up on didn't grow up, like raised her kids on the OG Wiggles, like the four guys,
Oh.
of which
Oh, no,
Anthony is the only remaining one.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, was there carryover?
Yeah, so Anthony's the from the original,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Which is why he's like 70 years older than
There does seem
all
to
the
be
other Wiggles.
just like a noticeable age difference, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And also why he's got like
he's
four
not
silver
70.
teeth.
He's not like Roger Moore older than everyone else. He's not there
no.
yet.
No, but he's got some salt and pepper happening.
Sure.
Anthony, Simon, Jeff, and Murray were the original. Not Simon. No. Shoot, Greg, Anthony, Jeff, and Murray. And still all Aussies.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep.
And so, anyway, so we watched now being Anthony, Simon, Lockie, and Emma. And Lockie and Emma were married for a number of years. I don't know if you're up to date. And then that relationship crumbled.
I was aware of that there was
Yeah.
a past emphasis on past relationship.
Marriage. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, you do what you need to do when you're a parent. And in order, and I'm issuing a challenge to you, sir. Obviously this will be a post-COVID endeavor for you. But upon doing a little research, I discovered one day that the Wiggles were going to be playing a show about an hour and a half away from where we were living.
Oh, wow.
So I got my ass online and I bought tickets and we drove and we made a whole thing of it, right? Like we drove down the day before and stayed in a hotel with a pool.
Oh, you gotta. Yeah.
And took my daughter in the pool and did all this stuff and took her
Nice.
out for we went to the Mandarin. I think it was like her first Chinese food buffet experience. Like it's fun, right?
Dude.
So anyways, to sell the amazing show.
Sure.
It was a great show. We were in one of the wings, the Abe Lincoln seats,
Whew. Well,
right?
yeah. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought that was I thought that was a good thing till you said that, and I'm like, oh,
Well, but it was. We had a great view.
yeah, no, absolutely.
So, anyways, there's a moment where the Wiggles are kind of dispersing out throughout the crowd, and they're like picking up things. Like all the girls bring flowers and make signs and stuff for Emma. And there's a part of the show where Emma goes around, and all the various Wiggles they've got Britney Spears headsets on, and they're like going through the crowd doing their thing.
Sure.
So, anyways, there's a moment where we're looking down at the stage, and all of a sudden, I happen to glance to the left, so away
Sure.
from the stage, and 10 or 15 people down, in our thing, coming up behind us, interacting, giving high fives, doing whatever, is Simon. And I'm like, holy crap! Even I'm getting starstruck at this point. I'm like, oh my
You're
god,
getting weak at the knees.
there's a Wiggle coming up behind us.
Yeah.
And I have.
What do I say? What do I do?
Yeah, I have a unfortunately blurry, just because everything was happening so fast, but crisp enough image of my daughter high-fiving Simon from the Wiggles.
That is pretty dope.
And it was just this amazing moment. She was old enough to think it was cool, but
Yeah.
not near as cool as her mother and I. To us it was like she high-fived a Wiggle.
Yeah.
Anything that we've done in our life is
Yeah.
just weak compared
Just
to
stop.
what this girl has achieved at
Yeah.
2 years of age. She's high-fived a Wiggle.
That's awesome.
Good Lord. Yeah. So that's my Wiggle story and why I think the Wiggles are awesome.
That's an awesome Wiggle story, and it's very timely because literally my wife asked me the other day, because the episode we watched was a live ep, And she's like, would we ever go to a Wiggle concert post-COVID? And we had a discussion around it. So now
I highly recommend it.
There you go.
Honestly, it was very entertaining. It's a great show. It's not too long, right? Because they have it's like kids and stuff. I can't
Yeah, of
remember what
course.
the tickets, but the tickets were like super affordable. Like I think the tickets
is
were
good.
like 30
Yep.
$30 a person or something.
Which is okay. So that's good. So yeah, they make it affordable so parents can afford to take their kids, and it's not just like the elite who can go.
Yeah. And
Yeah, that's
geographically, this won't make sense to a lot of people, but we went and saw him in Kitchener.
Oh yeah.
And so
Yep.
it was like, it was super local. It was the hotel we stayed in was very affordable. Like we made a whole weekend out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a blast. Total
That's
blast.
cool. That is
So
cool.
highly recommend anyone listening to this, go see the Wiggles, man. Do it. It doesn't matter how old you are. They look at you a little funny if you show up and you don't have a kid, but that's your business.
You just do you.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for listening, and let's wiggle on out.
All right. You can't tell right now, but I'm pointing both fingers at the microphone and wiggling them, which is a stroke of genius. I'm tangenting again here for a second, but the whole finger wiggle thing that they do, there's like waving signature sign off thing that they do, it's genius. And the reason they do that is like to limit their contact with children so that they know that like,
Yeah.
you limit your contact with children and then it's tricky to like make an allegation stick.
Right.
Yeah. It's amazing.
I think the most
geniuses.
I think the biggest thing I appreciate is the punniness of Emma, and she wears a bow for you, those that don't know, and she says, "Have a beautiful day," and I wish all our listeners a beautiful day as well.
All right. We are the Wigglemen, the show that reviews and talks about the Wiggles pretty much 24/7, signing off.